my own.
You're so cool, Anilo. You seem like a 90s kid, although you're not. I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm the old guy on this show.
I was born in the 90s, if that counts for something.
Like 99?
1 year prior, 98.
98.
I actually, so get this, I don't like to make it about myself. My birthday was actually on Saturday. So it was dueling Game 7s. Yeah, so it's
so you got a crap sandwich from the Avs for your birthday.
Crazy.
And you got a celebration from the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, but it was honestly, it was one of those days, like, I actually love what I do. Like, I love working in this business, and it's been a dream to be here at the Fan and having a great time. And, like, you know, I'm not a big birthday guy in general, but I was like, of course. Like, I got 2 Game 7s. Like, because I like to just hang out with my friends, you know, do whatever. Right. And maybe because it was the Nuggets that I was able to watch in person, like, I didn't feel... Like, I came out of Ball Arena despite the Avalanche loss, and I was like, this is a crazy day, like, from a personal standpoint. Yeah. I was like, the magnitude of 2 Game 7s, the emotion of both Game 7s, and I understand sports are emotional, and Avs fans are emotional, and Drew Spivak's down in the dumps, as are most of Avs faithful out there after a brutal loss. But it is, like, from a historic perspective, like, what a weekend for Denver sports.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What a weekend. What a crazy weekend, and that Avs loss has me feeling like 1996. And I remember when the Jacksonville Jaguars come in here to the Mile High City and they beat a Broncos team with a young Terrell Davis that they could have won 3 in a row. I've always said that about the Broncos, who got Super Bowl 32 and Super Bowl 33. They could have won 3 in a row if they had beat Jacksonville. In fact, Brett Favre wouldn't have a Super Bowl ring because they would have won 31 as well. So throughout Denver sports history, we could go last year with the Denver Nuggets and that 20-point collapse against the Timberwolves. That Avs game, we've felt this before. For the Broncos, it's been a while. For the Nuggets, it was last year. And for the Avs, it's now. It's misery. Pure misery is what you felt when you saw the way the Avs ended that thing after looking like they were going to control the game, win the game, and move on in that series.
Well, and there's a lot of things to take away from this series as well. Like, emotions aside, I mean, the power play was absolutely abysmal. 3 for 22 on the power play in this series. You mentioned DeBoer, who is just an Avs killer. I mean, 9-0 now is DeBoer in Game 7s. Bednar now 0-4 in Game 7s. And I think the Mikko hat trick with the assist there at the end, like the fact that it was Mikko Rantanen front and center that was responsible for ripping the heart out of this Avalanche team, I think is what makes it so much harder to process. And I mean, you bring up last year's Game 7 with the Nuggets, blowing a 20-point lead in Game 7. Like, I still think that's a little bit worse than blowing a 2-0 lead in the third period with 13-ish minutes left to play in the game. But it's still hard when you're so close and you're treading water and you do what you need to do and you get the Josh Manson shorthanded goal and you feel like it's all right in front of you, and in the blink of an eye, to use a South Park reference, and it's gone.
And it's gone. So, and that's the thing. 3-goal lead. Now we're feeling good about the Avs' chances. Right. 2 was always nerve-wracking in this series because it was never enough.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm sitting there at Ball Arena, and it was really cool how they did it. They would show the highlights of the Avalanche game, like, in between timeouts at the Nuggets game.
Nice.
And like, you see McKinnon come out with his hair on fire to start the third period and score that goal, and you're like, oh, baby. Nuggets are playing well. Buckle up. We're going to have 2 Game 7 winners. And then, to your point, the Makar situation. And Kale, I don't think was good enough, not even close to being good enough in this series. Someone that you can traditionally rely on. One of the best core players for the Colorado Avalanche. But it all flipped on a dime, and you felt like Dallas was pressing and pressing and pressing.
Yep.
And to his credit, Mackenzie Blackwood had done a good job of holding up for the most part, but no pun intended, it was a bit of an avalanche for the Stars.
Yeah, and Jake Ottinger was just better. He was just better in this one. And where I regularly take issue with Calvin Booth for kind of messing up part of the prime for Nikola Jokic, because that guy should have multiple rings at this point in his career. And that guy deserves multiple rings at this point in his career. Can't we have the same conversation about Nathan McKinnon?
To an extent, yeah.
Once past the second round in 12 seasons with number 29? Once. Now, that once, they won it all. But we're looking at Nathan McKinnon as maybe he'll have a statue outside of Ball Arena or whatever they call it at that point. Because a Nikola statue is coming. Yes. I think a Nate statue should be coming. And both these guys, all-time Denver sports greats, one ring. You got to do something right because, as we said earlier, Nate can't do everything. And he's out there, brother. He's doing everything. He's doing everything he possibly can. Makar's letting him down. Marty Netchis is letting him down. new guys. Drury, what are you doing? You can't tackle someone in hockey. I don't know if you know that, but that's not allowed. They are the officials, even though they weren't great. They are going to call that. So a lot of problems here because that guy in number 29, Nathan MacKinnon, deserves a lot more trophies, and I'm talking about championship trophies.
Well, Nathan MacKinnon had a very short and sweet answer. Here's what he had to say on where the Avalanche go from here following their heartbreaking Game 7 loss.
I mean, they were missing their best D and maybe their best forward, so we still couldn't beat them, so I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know what we're going to do. And Nate is as fierce of a competitor as there is.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably the fiercest competitor, like, on Sean Payton levels, if not more, of just, like, dialed, wired, fired, inspired.
Yeah.
Like, that is who Nathan MacKinnon is. And so for him, and I understand it's the emotions after the game immediately, but, like, the fact that he initially acknowledges the fact that they were down a couple of their best players and they still weren't able to get the job done.
Yep.
Not a great vibe.
And
coming
they
from the locker
were
room.
the better team.
They were.
Mackenzie Blackwood, for most of the series, was the better goaltender, but overall, Jake Ottinger was.
Well, and the Stars led for a total of 3 minutes and 56 seconds in this game. The Avalanche led for 24 minutes and 27 seconds. And I understand that sports are cruel, but this didn't feel like one of those divine intervention moments for the Stars. It just felt like the Avalanche were missing something. And shame on me, because maybe I was the one. I was beating the drum. I thought Gabriel Landeskog, he did make an impact. Let's put that out
for
there
sure.
as well.
Yes.
But like it's almost sad because you put in all that work to come back just to get bounced in the first round.
Because the other guys aren't helping you.
Exactly. And it shows,
the new guys aren't helping you.
It shows you that there's just something missing. And I understand that there's plenty of talent on this roster. Nature's a good player. Makar, a great player. McKinnon, one of the best players, if not the best player in the league. And Landeskog looked better than advertised.
Well, here's the problem. And it goes back to not paying Nazem Kadri. That's the problem. What you're missing is a killer instinct with this team. What you're missing is ability to close.
Nate has a lot of killer instinct.
He's the only one.
It's not enough.
He's the only one. And Val was out there. He was available in the postseason. So we're going to praise him for that as he's dealt with his addiction problems and has screwed this team over. But everyone's shaking their fist at this guy like it's Val's fault. Last couple of years they get bounced. Well, he was out there now. He was doing what he could now. He could have been better. But he wasn't a ghost like Cale Makar. He wasn't a ghost like Marty Netches. Like Val's, of the list of problems that the Avs have, Val's way down the list, if he's even on the list at all whatsoever.
It's interesting. And here's head coach Jared Bednar, his perspective on what led to the Avalanche loss in Game 7.
I already know that we really liked our 5-on-5 play through the series. Special teams were a major factor in all of our losses, and it's special teams that were really good during the year and even in the second half. But you're facing obviously a really dangerous power play, which makes it tough, and with a strong penalty kill, one of the best in the league too. So it's frustrating because you do a lot of good things for a lot of the game, and you don't get it done in certain areas, or it could be a different area each night that costs you. That just shows you how well-rounded you got to be in order to win against a team like Dallas.
And then Bednar again on processing the loss and where they go from here.
It's tough because you put your heart and soul into the whole year, the series, all of it, and then you're in a good position and then slips away on you. So it's tough because I know how hard these guys worked and how bad they wanted it, and that's all you can kind of really think of at this point.
Maybe this is unfair of me to say. I didn't love the body language from the Avalanche throughout the series. Like, it looked like at moments they were locked in and ready to go, but from a like eye test perspective,
right?
I mean, Dallas seemed to be the quicker team, the faster team, the more opportunistic team, whereas the Avalanche had a little bit of a happy-go-lucky attitude, in my opinion.
Yeah,
from what I saw.
That's part of being the superior team. But that's also a conversation we're going to get into. And again, you can chime in. Should the Avs fire either or both?
Yeah.
Is Chris McFarland gone? Is Jared Bednar gone? RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Because here's the thing. The Stars sense the blood in the water. The Avs were the one with their body language, with their kind of lackadaisical effort at times. That's something their opponent sniffed out. And they went into go-for-it mode while they were just into coast mode. You're either being allowed to do it or you're being coached to do it.
They got complacent. And that is a problem, as the Avalanche were in prime position to win this series. Hey, real quick, it's time for our second annual Denver Sports Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp. If you have a child between the ages of 8 and 14 looking to learn the game of football or refine their skills, join us on June 21st at All City Stadium at Denver South High School, where our guy Philip Lindsay and Brandon Stokely will be there, along with several coaches from Denver South. And some Denver sports talent will be in attendance as well to share their knowledge with the next generation of athletes. For more information to register your child, go to denversports.com/camp. All proceeds from the camp benefit Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Colorado. All right, good stuff. Rounding out hour number 1. When we come back, it's